Shall we please be seated? The Moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Reverend Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Oparekwache, the Principal of this college, Dr. Nicholas Apresiam, the Council Chairperson, Nananom President, Management Members, Senior Members, honorable guests, Professor Victor Entry, Provost Chancellor of the University of Education, Governing Council members, Convocation members, alumni present, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear graduates. You are all welcome to the 16th congregation of this college, Presbyterian College of Education, Ekropon, Equiapem. At this moment, I take permission to call the chaplain of the college, Reverend William J. Brentio, to give us the opening prayer.
The Moderator said, Council Chair, Principal, let us prepare our hearts as we pray. We shall sing PH 15. Sorrow for one come from Yame, Abba for one kutu. We are strong and instrument and so when you know I am happy. The God will lead us. come from different walks of life, but unite in our love for knowledge, wisdom, and faith. We want to express our gratitude to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for its vision, leadership, and support in establishing and sustaining Presbyterian College of Education. We also want to thank you, O God, for the entire college community, including faculty, staff, and students, for their dedication and hard work. We thank you for our parents, our guardians, and caregivers who have supported and nurtured these young ones in their educational journey. We bless you, Holy Father, for our teachers, for our educators and mentors who dedicated their time and expertise to shape these young men and women standing before us here for this graduation. We also bless you for the school administrators, the staff and officials who work tirelessly behind the scenes of God to create a conducive learning environment. Father, we also welcome and extend our gratitude to our invited guests who have traveled from far and near to be with us today. We ask that, O Lord, you will grant them and keep them safe and protect them. Refresh and renew them, O Lord, as they participate in our gathering. Inspire them with new ideas, O Lord, insights and connections. Father, we acknowledge the hard work, perseverance, and dedication of our graduates who have reached this milestone through their tireless efforts. We celebrate their achievements and pray for your continual guidance and blessings upon them. As we begin our time together, Father, we humbly ask you for your pardon and forgiveness of our nation. Forgive us, O Lord, for our collective sins, including dishonesty and corruption, injustice and inequality, pride and selfishness, neglect of the vulnerable and marginalized. Holy Father, cleanse our land and our hearts, and guide us towards righteousness, justice, and compassion. Father, we also invite the presence of the Holy Spirit, our God and teacher, to be with us today. May the Spirit of God illuminate our minds with wisdom and understanding. May your Holy Spirit inspire our hearts with passion and creativity. May your Holy Spirit guide us into all truth and knowledge, empower us to live out our faith with integrity and love. Lord, as we seek your forgiveness and guidance, we also ask that you would bless and inspire our educators with wisdom, patience, and creativity. Guide our students with curiosity, discernment, and passion for learning. Unite us, O God, in love, respect, and support for one another. Help us, Holy Father, to see the value and worth of every individual in our educational community. May our time together be a blessing to each other and bring glory to your holy name. In Jesus' name, I will pray with thanksgiving. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, College Chaplain. Please, shall we rise again and sing the national anthem, led by the college choir. honor to introduce to you the chairperson of this program. This person is an astute educationist, well-vested in local governance. She's very knowledgeable in policy making. The chair of this program is someone who is a pivot in the running of this great institution. She's the chairperson of the College Governing Council. Please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Dr. Esther Ofe Agbaji to constitute the assembly. Thank you very much.
The Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Oparipachi, PhD, Moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Osakine Boafuansa II, Continue of Ekwapim, representing His Royal Majesty Osadio Yokosia for the third Ekwapim. Our political leadership, Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi, or his representative, Director General of GTech. Our venerable guest speaker, Professor Winston Kwame Abrampa, Dean of Faculty of Education Studies, KNUST, Edicam for 98. Professor Victor MP, Pro-Vice Chancellor, the University of University of Education, Winneba. Members of the Governing Council, Vice Chancellors, Presidents, President, Registrars, College Secretaries, President, distinguished invited guests, including Professor Samuel Obed Quinn of the University of Winneba at Council 95, the Reverend E.A.S. Siedu, a Captain Presbyterian Chairperson and an Council, President Brinkoff and EGA, Brinkoff members, Mr. Daniel Yepua, General Manager of Presbyterian Schools at Council 93, Dr. Mrs. Ivy Asantua Owusu, Eastern Regional Director of Education, Edicamfo 90, Reverend Alex Obusu Ado, District Minister, Christ Presbyterian Church, Propoyapim, Edicamfo, Director, Akrofi Christopher Institute of Theology, Mission and Culture, Propom, Directors of Education present, Reverend Richard Aferi, Headmaster of Yapman Secondary School, Heads of Secondary Institutions, the Divisional Command, the Police Commander, Ghana Police Service, the Commander, Ghana National Fire Service, the clergy, Heads of PC Demonstration, JHS Primary Schools, alumni and alumni present, Madam Vice Principal, Convocation, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen of the media, my dear graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I pray that I've observed all the protocols that I have been instructed to. It's my singular honor to welcome you to this convocation ceremony, which is a memorable event in the lives of our students at the end of a long journey of academic studies. Therefore, I have great pleasure, Moderator, Sir, Pro-Vice Chancellor, UEW, and Director General GTech, Nananom, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I, Esther Ofe Agbaji, by the honor bestowed on me as Governing Council Chairperson of the Presbyterian College of Education at Propagapim, declare the 16th Congregation of the Presbyterian College of Education at Propagapim duly constituted for the award of degrees to successful graduates of the Presbyterian College of Education affiliated to the University of Education, Winneba. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, standing on the protocols established, may I now invite the college choir to give us the college anthem. Thank you, college choir. May I invite the principal of this college, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresam, to give us his address.
The Moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nanoba, the representative of His Royal Majesty Kwesi III, Chairperson of the Governing Council Dr. Esther Faye Amwaji, representative of the MP Ibuabu North, representative of MP Okri, representative of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, University of Education, Winneba, Professor Victor Entry, Director, ITEC BD, Professor Samuel Bequin, Professor W.K. Abraham, Dean of the Faculty of Education, KNUST, Kumasi, Ekpabon Presbyterian Chairperson, Reverend Ebenezer Achampon, the clergy present, the Governing Council members of Presbyterian College of Education, Ekopon, Nanano present, Sister Principals of Sister Colleges of Education, Directors of Education present, Commanders of the Uniformed Service present, Heads of Senior High Schools present, Faculty members, Alumni, Parents, Guardians, Graduates, members of the Praise Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to give an address at the 16th graduation ceremony of the Presbyterian College of Education, Ekropong. This day marks a significant milestone in the lives of our graduates as well as in the history of our institution. Chair, permit me to welcome once again all our dignitaries, especially the Moderator of the General Assembly of Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nanoparekwache, for his enormous interest and support for this college. We are grateful to you for honoring our invitation. Professor Victor Entry and Professor W.K. Abrampa, a son of this soil, you are warmly welcome. I take this opportunity to welcome all graduates back to campus for this special occasion. And I welcome all our guests for gracing this memorable occasion. I am delighted to share with you the achievements, challenges, and prospects of our beloved college. And I look forward for your feedback, guidance, and support as we strive for excellence in education. Chair, permit me to touch on some academic issues, and I would like to start with staffing. The college was granted financial clearance during the last quarter of 2023. The financial clearance has been duly utilized, and as a result, the numerical strength of staff has increased to 125, constituting 65 teaching and 60 non-teaching staff. Statistics on students. The total number of students in the college stands at 1,870. Of this number, level 100 is 356, level 200, 341, level 300, 504, and level 400, 669. 2024 admissions. The admission process has begun since January, and it's expected to end at the end of August 2024. All going well with our academic calendar, we expect our new entrants to report on campus by the end of October 2024. General performance of students. The general performance of students keep on going high. They have not departed from the core values of academic excellence that propels this institution. We commend the students for their sterling performance and the staff of the college also for their dedicated service, which has culminated in this outstanding performance. Disruption of the second semester of 2023-24 academic year. Unfortunately, the second semester of the 2023-24 academic year has suffered massive disruption. Originally, the college was to be opened for the second semester 2024 academic year on 2nd June 2024, but had to be postponed for a week for certain logistics needed for takeoff to be provided. The rescheduled academic calendar was to begin on 9th June and end on 17th September 2024. Unfortunately, the reopening was met with the CETAC strike, which has lingered for over 8 weeks. This indefinite strike action of CETAC has almost grounded every academic activity on campus it is negatively impacting teaching and learning as the academic calendar has been thrown overboard. The college is making passionate appeal to all stakeholders to mediate, to bring an amicable solution for teaching and learning to commence. Chair, I want to touch on 2024 GET Fund allocation for academic facilities and infrastructural development. The government of Ghana, through GET Fund, has released 500,000 cedis for academic facilities and infrastructural development in the college. This amount will be used to offset part of the cost for constructing the 4-story central laboratory project on campus. The college is grateful to the government for this support. 2024 GET Fund allocation for faculty development and research. An amount of 200,000 has further been approved and allocated by GET Fund for faculty development and research. The college has over 20 staff pursuing postgraduate studies, and part of this fund would be used to sponsor their studies, while the remaining amount will be used to fund departmental research and conferences for the year 2024. In terms of research and development output in the college, about 36 teaching staff have published scholarly articles, and some of the staff have presented their documents for assessment for promotion. I want to touch on scholarship received for the year 2023-24 academic year. 3 scholarships have been received. The first from Virginia State University and is tenable in Virginia State University. 5 members of staff are currently preparing to undertake their studies at Virginia State University start 2025. Another offer of scholarship has been granted by our affiliate university, that is University of Education, Winnipeg, for 2 of our staff members to undertake their studies at Jiangsu University in China. Another offer has been extended to all special needs students, offering a 4-year B.Ed program in this college. This offer is from GET Fund through GTEC. The college is very grateful to GET Fund and GTEC for the financial assistance extended to the special needs students, appointments and promotions. The Appointments and Promotion Committee met on the 11th April and 30th April 2024 respectively to consider applications for promotion, upgrade and renewal of appointments. 4 staff members were considered for upgrade, 5 for reappointment, and 3 for promotion. It is worth noting that as many as 11 of the teaching staff have been promoted to the ranks of senior tutors over the past 3 years. Many more have also submitted their documents for consideration. A major challenge the college faces is the attrition of staff. Staff upgrade themselves to the admiration of faculty and management, and then they abandon the very institution that has supported them. We pray that conditions of service for staff are enhanced so that the craving for greener fields will be curtailed. Naming of facility and heritage week celebration. Chair, permit me to touch on the naming and heritage week celebration. The 3rd Heritage Week celebration of the college was held on 4th April, 4th July 2024 under the distinguished chairperson of the Kwapon Presbyterian. The moderator of the General Assembly was the guest of honor for this occasion, while Reverend Dr. Kwabena Okunip was the guest speaker. As part of the activities for the occasion, there was an inter-hall quiz competition, clean-up exercise, exhibition and naming and lecture, time with Edikanfo and sports, as well as Thanksgiving service. As part of the Heritage Week celebration, the 6-story ICT library, lecture hall, and office complex was named after the very Reverend G.O.Y. Mante for his enormous contributions and impactful leadership on the college community. We thank God for having given us such opportunity. I want to touch on developmental projects. The college is blessed with numerous developmental projects. I would highlight on few. The 6-story ICT library, lecture hall, and office complex is completed and awaiting handing over from the contractor. The 200 capacity female hostel is completed and awaiting handing over from the contractor. The 2-kilometer resurfacing of Tampos internal road is about 62% complete. The 300-bed capacity hostel is stopped and is only about 5% complete. The AstroTurf Sports Complex facility is about 85% complete. The mechanized borehole project is about 95% complete, and it's worthy to note that the college fully relies on this mechanized borehole and Ademi Spring for its water supply needs of the college. The 4-story central laboratory and office complex project is about 50% complete, and it is estimated to be completed before the year ends. Chair, permit me to touch on some few challenges confronting this institution. The college is confronted with the following challenges. The college is in need of a big bus for supported teaching in schools activity. Encroachment of BCE land is still ongoing. Deteriorating staff bungalow needs attention. The college is grateful to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for the consideration to restore the old centenary chapel and its adjoining cemetery for religious and educational purposes. We call on all stakeholders to emulate the kind gesture of the church in meeting our needs, in meeting the needs of the college. The way forward. Having touched on the achievements and challenges of the college, I would want to touch on certain critical areas the college would want to consider for uplift. 1. Renovation of student residential facilities. 2. Renovation of staff bungalows, including Sun City. Improving access to internet services on campus. And lastly, automation of the library. Chair, permit me to now touch on the performance of the graduating class and use the opportunity to wish them well. I am proud to announce that 482 students are graduating today. And of this number, as high as 144 students will be graduating with first class. which is 63.1% over last year's figure of 51. And 279, constituting 57.9%, will be graduating with second class upper. 57, constituting 11.8%, with second class lower. And only 2, constituting 0.4%, with third class. We are proud to announce again that the college had no student graduating with a pass. This achievement is unprecedented, and we thank God for this feat. Dear graduates, as we celebrate your achievement today, I offer my warmest congratulations to you on your achievements. Your hard work, dedication, and perseverance have paid off, and you should be proud of yourself. As you stand on the threshold of this new chapter, remember that your education is not just a personal achievement, but also a testament to the support of your loved ones, teachers, and the entire college community. May your qualification be a foundation for a brighter future. I repeat, may your qualification be a foundation for a brighter future, a stepping stone to further studies, and may you continue to make a positive impact on the world. Be reminded that your journey has been shaped by the Presbyterian College's value of academic excellence, professionalism, innovation, discipline, inclusivity, service, and faith in God. I urge you to uphold fast these values as you venture forward, and may they continue to guide you in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Abrasian, the college principal. Madam Chair, with your permission, I invite the college choir to give us a song. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, I invite the Vice Principal of this college, Ms. Vivienne Okran, to introduce our keynote speaker for the day. Thank you very much.
Madam Chairperson, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol to do this assignment. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker for this very important occasion holds a PhD in curriculum development. This man holds an MPhil in curriculum studies, and he has a B.Ed in primary education. He is specialized in curriculum development, its implementation, evaluation. He's also well endowed in early childhood education and teacher education. His research interest is in monitoring the concerns of curriculum implementation, curriculum evaluation, teacher professional identity, and the development of indigenous pedagogy. Our speaker has worked with the GES, and he's currently working in the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. In fact, for every level of the educational system in Ghana, our speaker has worked there either as a teacher or a researcher. He is a professor, and he has led a number of teams in the development of the pedagogy for the course of the Bachelor of Education curriculum for 32 colleges of education at the 4 universities for teacher training. Prof has also led a number of teams in the development of the course manuals and professional development manual for the tutors of these colleges of education and the universities. Additionally, he's led in the development of master's and doctoral programs for the Faculty of Educational Studies in the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The professor has won a number of grants, including grants for projects sponsored by FAWE and another one by Educational Research Network for West and Central Africa. This man is a member in good standing of many educational associations, including Educational Research Network for West and Central Africa, Association of Research and Evaluation of Education. He is also a member of World Educational Research Association and University Teachers Association of Ghana. I'm talking about the man who has held different positions, including being the head of the Department of Teacher Education, KNUST, and he is currently the Dean of the Faculty of Educational Studies in the university that we say is the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, this honorable professor is a product of this institution. I'm talking about the Presbyterian College of Education. Help me therefore to welcome to the stand Professor Winston Kwame Arampa.
sincerity. Raise your voice to sing, striving now and ever for their glory come now. Joy to sing her praise, let the chorus ring, striving now and ever for her glory is our vow. So thank you very much, choir, for the support. I left here 27 years ago, in 1997, and I must say I was a proud member of the choir. And the choir was a very powerful choir, and I'm sure it's still as powerful as it used to be. Because what I can't remember is I think that's the year the choir visited Scotland. Was invited to Scotland. I was a member of the Fraternity Hall. And a low-key sportsman. I think it's always good to come back home. I think after within the course of the 27 years, I've managed to be here a couple of times. Of course, anytime I'm called upon by the principal, I remember I think 2 years ago or so, I was here. And it's always good to come back home. It's always good to come back home. Of course, it's always good to be part of a 176-year-old tradition. I must say, PTC is a very great institution, and indeed is the mother of all schools. In fact, there are only 2 colleges. It's only Presbyterian College of Education and the others. The principals, they are not there. And let me take this opportunity to thank the very many tutors who mentored us. I can see Mr. Appa, I can see Reverend Nji. I think on behalf of my colleagues, there are very many in the country, in the diaspora, across the globe, in Africa and in Ghana. I want to say a very big thank you. Your mentoring is what has brought us this far. Your support, your advice, and sometimes the punishments. It did a good job, and indeed a great job on us. Straightened us where we went wrong. And that is what has brought us this far. I must say we are very grateful to this college. And we thank God for the very many mercies and the favors and grace He has bestowed on us by virtue of the fact that we are associated with this college. So thanks very much. The distinguished chairperson and members of the governing council of the Presbyterian College of Education, the vice chancellor of the REP, my own brother and senior colleague, Professor Victor Ng, who I have so much respect for, Prof. And the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the Honorable Regional Minister of the REP, the Honorable Member of Parliament of the REP, the Director General, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, the Director, Professor Samuel Bequin, ITEC PD, who is also at the Deacon for. I just hope he'll be joining us very soon. The Principal, Reverend Dr. Siam, of this great institution, the Principals of Sister Colleges of Education present, and the faculty members, very hard-working faculty members. members of the clergy, students of this wonderful college, fellow Edikamfo in the diaspora and in Ghana, our dear graduating class of 2023, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of us. Good morning. Oh, I don't like the response. Good morning. Good morning. As an alumnus of this great institution, the Presbyterian College of Education, the mother of our schools, it is with great pride and honor I address you on this momentous occasion, your 16th graduation day. Today we gather to celebrate your achievements and to contemplate the profound role you have been trained to play as teachers. I wish to express my profound gratitude to the Governing Council and management for this invite. My dear graduates, today indeed is your day, and we join your committed tutors, families, and all stakeholders in celebrating you. Having completed a 4-year journey represents the culmination of all the hard work, education challenges, and sleepless nights associated with an academic program. I believe you are lucky you no longer do this school. What is important now is that all the sacrifices have paid off, and we are here today to rejoice with you. Venerable Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, the theme for today's congregation, teacher leadership, nurturing minds and impacting communities, encapsulates the essence of what it means to be an educator in the 21st century. It is therefore apt, and I commend management for this. The education landscape is rapidly evolving, and with it, the role of teachers. No longer confined to the boundaries of the classroom, teachers today are called upon to be leaders, innovators, and catalysts for change. As John Hattie, a prominent education researcher, noted, the biggest effect of student learning occur when teachers become learners of their own teaching, unquote. This perspective underscores the importance of teacher leadership in shaping not only individual learners but the entire educational ecosystem. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, teacher leadership goes beyond traditional roles of classroom management and instruction. It encompasses a broader vision of education that positions teachers as active agents of change within their schools and communities. Teacher leadership has been explained as a process by which teachers individually or collectively influence their colleagues, principals, and other members of school communities to improve teaching and learning practices with the aim of increasing students' learning and achievement. This description highlights the collaborative and influential nature of teacher leadership, emphasizing its ultimate goal of enhancing educational outcomes. Teacher leaders have deep commitment to student learning, a willingness to innovate and take risks, strong communication and collaboration skills, and a desire for continuous professional growth. These qualities enable teachers to navigate the complex dynamics of learning spaces and inspire positive change. The role of teachers have evolved significantly over the past few decades. Historically, teachers were often viewed as mere transmitters of knowledge. However, contemporary educational theory recognizes teachers as facilitators of learning, mentors, and community leaders. As Hargreaves and Fallon argue in their concept of professional capital, teachers are now expected to be adaptive experts, capable of making complex judgments and continuously improving their practice. This shift in perspective places teachers at the forefront of educational innovation and reform. Teacher leaders are increasingly involved in curriculum development, peer coaching, action research, and policy advocacy. They bridge the gap between administration and diverse learning environment, bringing valuable insight from the front lines of education to inform decision-making processes. As we delve deeper into how a teacher who leads, nurture minds, and impact communities, keep in mind that teacher leadership is not a fixed position, but a mindset, a culture, and a set of processes and practices that can be developed and refined throughout your career. It is a journey of continuous learning and growth, much like the educational journey you facilitate for your learners. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, teacher leadership is fundamentally about nurturing young minds. This involves creating positive learning environment where learners feel safe to explore and take intellectual risks. As Carol Dweck's research suggests, fostering a growth mindset is crucial for learners' development. Additionally, critical thinking and creativity are essential skills in today's world. As teacher leaders, you are expected to design learning experiences that challenge learners to analyze, evaluate, create through innovative approaches like project-based learning or interdisciplinary studies to engage learners more deeply. Remember, innovation in education does not always mean adopting new technologies, but rather being open to methods that enhance learning. Teacher leaders stay informed about educational advancement and thoughtfully integrate effective practices into their engagement with learners. The influence of teacher leaders extends beyond the classroom. By developing learners who are creative and innovative, they are able to function and engage communities in more productive ways. By engaging with the broader communities, we create a cohesive educational ecosystem that supports learners' growth holistically. Teacher leaders bridge the gap between schools and society through community events, parental support, and collaborations with local organizations. They address social issues through education, helping learners and community members become informed and engaged citizens. This way, you are able to inspire not just your learners, but the entire community. Now you might be wondering, how do I become this kind of teacher leader? Well, it is a journey, not a destination, as I've indicated. It starts with a commitment to continuous professional development. Seek out workshops, conferences, and courses that challenge you and expand your horizon. Remember, the best teachers are lifelong learners themselves. Make good use of every opportunity to learn something new, upgrade in order to remain relevant. And please know and understand that success is when preparation meets opportunity. Collaboration is key in all of these. Reach out to your colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Share ideas and learn from each other. Find a mentor, and I insist and re-emphasize that there's the need to find a mentor and become one, at least for your learners. The exchange of knowledge and experience is invaluable in our profession. But here is the big thing. Leadership is not just about what happens in the school. It is about being an advocate for education in the wider world. Speak up about educational policies, get involved in curriculum-related matters, and take advantage of related capacity-building opportunities to deepen your understanding of issues around you. Your voice and experience matter in shaping the future of education. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, the path of a teacher wanting to lead is not always smooth. One of the biggest hurdles you will encounter is balancing your classroom responsibilities with your leadership aspirations. There will be days when you feel stretched thin, juggling learning plans, assessment, and broader school initiatives. But remember, effective time management and prioritization are skills that will serve you well, both in and out of the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear graduates, you might also bump up against systemic constraints. Perhaps your ideas for change do not align with current policies and thinking, or you lack the resources to implement innovative ideas. Do not be discouraged. Instead, see these obstacles as opportunities to develop your advocacy skills, to build coalition, and think creatively about solutions. Lastly, embracing diversity in leadership is both a challenge and an incredible opportunity. Our classrooms and communities are diverse, and our leadership should reflect that. Strive to create inclusive environments where all voices are heard and valued. This might push you out of your comfort zone, but it will ultimately make you a stronger, more empathic leader. Let me tell you something exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Your impact as a teacher leader goes far beyond what you might imagine. It is like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples spread out, touching everything around them. First and foremost, you will see it in your learners. When you lead by example, you innovate and inspire. Your learners thrive. They do not just learn, they become enthusiastic about learning, and that enthusiasm is contagious. But it does not stop there. Your leadership will help shape the culture of your school. You will contribute to creating an environment where excellence is the norm, where creativity is valued, where every learner and teacher feels supported to reach their potential. And here is a really big picture. You are contributing to social progress. Every mind you nurture, every community you impact is a step towards a better educated, more thoughtful, more engaged society. That is not just a job, that's a calling. So my dear graduates, as you step out into your classrooms and communities, remember this. Your leadership as a teacher is not just about today or tomorrow. It is about shaping the future, one learner, one lesson, one day at a time. Mr. Chairperson, Madam Chairperson, as I conclude, I want to take a moment and really let this sink in. My dear graduates, you are about to embark on one of the most important journeys of your life. And I believe you have started already because I believe you are doing your national service now in various schools and various places you have been posted to. As graduates of the Presbyterian College of Education, you are not just entering a profession, you are accepting a calling. Your role as a teacher, leader, will be to nurture minds and impact communities. It is a big responsibility, but I have seen the passion and dedication in this room, and I know you are all up for the challenge. You cannot go through the four walls of this institution and fail. And I say that again. You cannot go through the four walls of this great institution and fail. You didn't say amen to that. Embrace your role as a leader. Seek out opportunities for growth. Be the teacher who inspires, who innovates, who advocates, and supports learners. Remember, every time you engage learners' curiosity, every time you try a new teaching technique, every time you reach out to your community, you are creating ripples of change that extend far beyond your classroom. My dear ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, always remember that you were made for more. Believe in yourself and keep building on your confidence code as you serve humanity. Once again, a big congratulations to you all. Thank you very much for your attention, and may God bless us all. May God bless the mother of our school, the Presbyterian College of Education, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and continue to make us great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Winston Mohammed Abraham. Thank you. Madam Chair, please, with your permission, I invite the college choir to give us a song. Thank you.
Yamiaso Nika Monina Hejole Ahanife. So starting on existing protocols, we have in our midst some important guests and we want to introduce them as the program proceeds. I want to humbly introduce our father who is in our midst in the person of Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Obarekwachi, the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana worldwide. Papa, you're welcome. We also have in our midst Professor Victor Entry, Pro Vice Chancellor of UEW. We also have in our midst our father who takes care of us on this reach, and it's the person of Reverend E.A. Asidu, the Ethiopian Heritage Chairperson. And our mother, who is always with us, our lovely mother, Dr. Esther Ofe Ampwaji, the Governing Council Chairperson. We also have a speaker who spoke to us this morning, Professor Winston Kwame Abrahamba, the Keynote speaker. We also have in our midst the immediate past principal of this college and the district minister at Latte, the person of Reverend Samuel Yibwa Entry. We also have in our midst the president of the alumni in the person of Mr. Africanus Anani. We have in our midst members of the college council, so we'll humbly ask them to give us a wave wherever they are. Members of the college council, members of the college council. Then our father who is in charge of this place, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Abresian, the principal of our college. We will continue with the introduction as the program proceeds. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Chairperson, at this moment, I would like to call the college secretary to present to us the graduates. Thank you very much.
Madam Chairperson, can you permit me to summarize existing protocols to perform this activity? Thank you. Will the Bachelor of Education graduating students or Bachelor of Education graduating students here in this hall of the Presbyterian College of Education at Conferment, please rise and remain standing. Will all of you please rise and remain standing? Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Uniba, Professor Victor Entry. I, Christian Odoyensi, College Secretary of the Presbyterian College of Education and an affiliate of the University of Education, Uniba, present to you the 2023 Bachelor of Education, Sciences, Social Sciences, Maths, ICT, Home Economics, Technical students, Upper Primary students, Visual Arts Education students of the Presbyterian College of Education, standing before you and others who are among them, I absent and for whom I stand proxy. Prof said, these graduates have followed the approved programs of study over the stipulated period, passed the required examinations, fulfilled all necessary requirements, and have thus become eligible for the academic awards to which their studies entitle them. I pray for conferment of the awards to them.
Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresian, Principal of the Presbyterian College of Education at Conferment, Dr. Esther Fairwadi, the Chairperson of the Council, the Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Paribache, the Moderator of the General Assembly representing Presbyterian Church of Ghana, all other protocols duly observed. By the power vested in the Academic Board of the University of Education, Winnipeg, I, Professor Victor Entry, Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winnipeg, and representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winnipeg, now hereby pronounce the Bachelor of Education students presented duly graduated. Eddie Campo? Eddie Campo? Last one, Eddie Campo? Congratulations.
Congratulations to you all. You may now turn your tassels from your right to your left. First class students, please, when we mention your name, you climb the platform and then we shake hands. Gabla John, until my class, on the that is a Santua, Apia Emmanuel. Day Emmanuel, Odamian for Gabriel, Osu Rosa Aku, Begui Jones, Obinti Floss Jan, Jotepe Joshua, Akuti Flip Justice, Wedu Derek, Da Questa Sabia, Labi Solomon Kwame Nyafo, Laurentia Selawi, Ayama Solomon, Kwafo Samuela Jesiwa, Brantin Dina, Wafwa, Eji Ephraim, Ampafo, Apiaset, Asampana Elvis, Usu Prince Yawa, Asante Emmanuel, Feto Emmanuel, Praman Efia Hima, Wama, Solomon, Amwa Eric, Sechia Isi, Apieduda, Swabingil, Dako Bright, Asameni, Sechibia, Juliet Essenam, Otupri Foster Kwache, Ishen Godfred, Aqua Magdalene Tracy, Euphoria Emmanuel Babna, Mashi Bridget Yahua, Azambia Christiana, Kisimere Wilson Ebra, Abubia Sarah, Ajufra Jerry, Osu David, Ahifo Theophilus Jamira, Koba Patience, Olusu Samuel, Afeji Desmond Selon, Tete Emmanuel, Azaba Emmanuel Tom, Noete Bright Mati, Tete Desmond Anmo, Ajakwa Michael Winter, Ochiposhia, Aso Gabriel Te, Blue Gloria, Watson Patience, Entry Samuel Waji, Yabua Adam Sandra, Ode Labi Emmanuel, Manti Joshua Junior, Ishen Asania, Ayao, Dako Christiana, Usi Derek Apia, Emmanuel J, Adoregina, Hakim Ishak, and Shishaka Kwesiako, Ibrahim Aisha Noko, Toki Victor Kwame, Aduko Richard, Dansu Emmanuel Edwisi Kasari, Gloria Dampa Ebenezer, Kumsi Vaida, Aban Justice Wachi, Osai Vaida, Boama Ernestina, Anna Judith, Sabugo Francis Ansa, Agbanyo Vincent, Nelson Solomon, Pedicine, Ratno, Opoku, Mazara Isaac, Obri Nabels, Okumi, Stella, Oyo, Dansudo Kasasantua, Tua Prince, Samani, Kujo Phyllis, Okumia, Keme Moses, Elike Masari, Lydia, Granting Samson, Okwampa, Amako, Eric, Mensah, Vincent, Dennis, Afedi Abigail, Kumoji, G, for Peter, Ishabasi, Efficiency, Koko, Apia, Virginia, Sino Farouk Akbar, Nipe Charity, Malimo, Ufurubachi, Emmanuel, Asari, Bright, Biba, Derek, Ntifafa, Lawe Felix, Ba James Cruz, Jennifer, Ajimai, Asemeni Bismarck, Atifa, Labi Prisla, Jobia, Tete Esther Mamle, and David Nyako, Dodu Adelaide, Openewa, Osehe for the J. Amangwa Apia Emmanuel, Daku William Apia, Opo Emmanuel Kumi, Hammond, Evelyn, Namile, Yabua Benes, Yakwa, Osehe Beneza, Yabua, Adi Christian, Oso, Ophelia, Ochi Philip Labi, Ado Clifford, Timmy, Anyaba Samuel, Anobachi Annabelle, Ofusu Theresa, Donna Veronica, Ajekumwa Wendy, Fori Emmanuel Afo, Ousunanaya Wabwaji, Kakari James, Nkrumah Francis, Amamu Happy, Ansa Emmanuel, Sekelelom, Ofusu Ebenezer Jan. The remaining 4. Tete Abigail, Obi Abigail, Asmeni, Ankra Rosemont, Sapoma, Nyan, Judith. Moderator. Thank you very much. Second class, upper. Addiction Ministina. And 7.75. We are somewhere close. Please, let's kindly hurry up because we are many. Gabeto, Raphael, Aaron, Imshikwati, Stephanie Anko, Jessians on his Sapons, one babies as Antoine, Jan Uso, and not Juliet, what he said, Jedman or Dami, and Ishmael, Nisoa, Operado, Obey Felix, and Isaac, Pache Richard, Bando Justina Poma. I want us to see our concern in going through Ranty Joseph, Asa Jennifer, now Augustina, Amalfi Florence, Bobby Daniel Mensa, Concern Lodson, Akonsa Lodson, Latin Prince, Akuma, Christiana, Daniel, Donina Emmanuel, Donko, Emmanuel, Engineer, Makinta, Jacqueline, or Inielesia, Sobaji, Emmanuel, Kuma, Otrians, Opari Emmanuel, Equadelis, Eugene, Papu Joyce, Anyomi Rosie, Ashite, Emmanuel, Amu Emmanuel, Opari, Furi Frida, or Furi Frida, or Hinawa, Nuate, Francis. Second about we are still continuing. I would see I'm a free man and wearing that the good Joshua, power Abednego, Mary Sarah from Poma Esther, Katia John Lusu, and St. Joyce, Quest, Prince, and someone. I died, Prince, Jacob Samuel, the champion country, the city, with Prisa, Philip, Benji Maxwell, Lawe Philip, Dan Malidi, and Amuzi, Jose, Poku Delali, Amuzi, Jose, Delali, Baguro, Daniel, Bonituma, Oseimas, Yampon, Gilbert, Kodia, Ernestina, Furua, Asantua, Enin, Theodora, Ofori, Lydia, Ama J. Benjamin, Atia Chifi, Joseph Pamela, Ofori Godwin Odea, Patrick Sue, Jean-Michel, Anovia, Georgina, Efia, Afeni Damosi, Asamamba Children, Yam Samuel, Apo Philip, Kofi Florence, Chifa, Dangwa Prisla, Aura, Wanting, Precious, Nigeria. Aura, Wanting, Precious, Nigeria. We are talking with Ubati, Rebecca, Doyo, Uswa, Sandra. Sewa Margaret Nelson, Afu Boshia, Dagreta, Papo Daniel, Samuel, Roger, Monte, Apia Body, Samuel, Dancing, Uno Victor, Squire, Stampa Bright, Auntie Angela, Richard, Asara Sheila, Nyakwa, Na John, Abitoyo, Brownie, Agon, Michael, Robin, Frederick, and Sadobas, Amangwata, Sarah, Babli, Gardner, Lydia, Billy, Apia, Cecilia, Labi, Dunyon, Poli, Obin Dennis, Tabiasana, George, Abaji, Mavis, Foy, Ebenezer, Richard, and Sarah, Asa Blancy, Abba Jessica, and Lucy, Afako, William Eden, Owusu Bright, Ishen, Catherine, Chua, Ademan, James, Akwete, Benjamin Ajiti, Kato John, Dagwaye, Elim, Derek, Ado, Felicia, Siama Daniel, Aketia Daniel, Nyako, Pata Elita, Dan Suvera, Ado Steven,
Amwakundere Abwaji Perpetua, Amwea Linda Mantipia, Monu Richie, Pamina, Kumi Alexander, Amwa Emmanuel Sechibia, Vanessa, Chua, Alipi Justice, Ansawe Stephen, Dabu Fred, Moji Selassie. Hannah, Coco, Gestina, Akume, Samai, Bruce, Foster, Bright, Mesha, Sechi, Aposa, Philip, Aganda, Emilia, Alumba, Bafred, Wine, Apia Sarah, Bruce, Apia Sarah, Apia Sarah. Prince Mensa Mate Isaac Ufuria Brera Abueni Dokas Lechaka Sinta Asi Ama Shiapuma Amano Ibrahim Ufus Prince Puff Tiamwa Emmanuel Samuti Michael Tia Champo Samuel Wine Bright Sari Captain Felicia Obey Fred Fudoga Samson Mensa Emmanuel Labi Samuel Afram Tina Wus Abdullah Samuel Akuma Bright Watima Sarah Amenya Priscilla San Chuma Silinda Jerry Isaac Wine. Second class lower division and then third class. Please, Asifi Philip Aji, Gloria Ajimandina, Trimester from Poma Esther Kumi, Asantua Rebecca, Fabian Mavis, Opoku, Ebenezer, Namwimbon Edmond, Abaka Higan, Sabina, Wachi Matilda Officia, Jima Richmond, Ajipon Samuel, Kwame, Ajiti Solomon, Yentu, Godfrey, Yenguda, Yentu, Godfrey, Yenguda, Obinance, Wedi, Albert, Godfrey, Jimmy Blazer, Jana Fett, Nedu, Anostin, Yusuka Glass, Apukwa, Ampia Isaac, Amia Benson, Fusi, Ano Janet, Sanidas, Ega, Watman, Chimati, Ernest, Asa, Chiwell, Osafu Gabriel of Fair, Usi Janet Santua, J. Obed Senior, Kofe, Enox, Lassie, Joyce, Abaye, Patrick de la Benson Thomas, Fusia Esther, Beji, Mazenda, La Fiesta, Granty, Shirley, Sean Francis Mateo, Sarah Matilda, Rachua Cerisa, Adolwini, Bonnie, Fist.
indulgence of Papa Moderator and our council, so that we give them that honor. The following first class students, please kindly stand up and then come. Odru Isaac Kweku, Owusu Patrick, Echampon Patrick, Esiedu Naomi Ejiwa, Odru Isaac Kweku, Owusu Patrick, Echampon Patrick, Esiedu Naomi Ejiwa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, College Secretary, Mr. Christian Odoi AUC. Madam Chairperson, at this moment, I want to invite Mr. Africanus Anale, Alumni President, to lead us in the administration of the Alumni Oath. Thank you very much. Shall we welcome him with a round of applause, please?
Madam Chair, please permit me to stand on existing protocol and administer the alumni. Shall we, graduates, stand? Now I'm going to, let's say after me, physically, when I say I put your name there, then you proceed. And make sure you raise your right hand as a form or part of the oath. Right? So let me see you raise your right hand. Then move. I do solemnly pledge faithfully fulfill my duties as an alumni of the Presbyterian College of Education. I pledge to use my knowledge, skills, and experience to do the best of my ability for the advancement of learning and for the well-being of my community and country. I promise to be a lawyer, ambassador for my college, to promote its welfare and maintain its reputation. I will endeavor in all my dealings to be known as a person of honor and repute, to bring respect to my alma mater. So help me God. And the council, and the council, and the council.
Principal of the College, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresian, to do a special presentation of awards for us. Thank you very much.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocols and proceed. I am delighted to announce that today we have 7 special categories of awards to be given to deserving graduates. The first award is the Moderator's Award for the overall best graduating student. And the second is the Council Chairperson's Award for the overall best graduating female student. And the third is the Principal's Award for the overall best graduating student with special needs. The fourth award is Professor W.K. Abrampa's Award in honor of Professor Emmanuel Kwashi Tamaklo for the best graduating student upper primary. Then the departmental awards for Voltaic Science, Computer Science and Mathematics, Social Studies, Creative Arts. The fifth award for the day is for the best sporting students from the Atikumi's family. Then the sixth award is a special needs award. This is to honor dedicated people who supported our special needs students. 7 of these people dedicated themselves throughout the 4 years to support these special needs students. And today, we would acknowledge the services of such. And the last is the hard-working GCOs. 2 of them will be honored, and this is coming from the Patrick Oti Adai's family. We want to acknowledge the sponsors. We thank the moderator for honoring the first award, the council chairperson for honoring the second, the principal for the third. We also thank Professor W.K. Abrampa for the award. We also have Dr. and Mrs. Atikumi for sponsoring an award, and we have Mr. Stephen Butu also sponsoring an award, and we have Westco Credit Union for also sponsoring an award, and Mr. Patrick Oti Adai. We are most grateful for the sponsorship. Again, we have a dedicated alumnus. When we had our Heritage Week celebration, all the brochures we had, he dashed us freely. And this time around, the congregation brochure we have is almost free. And we thank him. And the company's name is Flash Digital Impression. We are most grateful, Nana, for your support given to this college. Having said that, now it is the time. The best graduating student in the name of Mr. John Gabler should step forth for the presentation. And this is the Moderator's Award for the best graduating student. Please come upstage and Moderator will do the presentation here. So we need men to carry the award upstage.
Yeah.
Thank you. The second award, we will call on the council chairperson to be ready for the presentation. And this is the council chairperson's award for the overall best graduating female student. And it goes for Gladys Asantua Omini. Principal's Award for the overall best graduating student with special needs. And this goes to Bridget Kwashi. We will call on Prof. Entry to do as the honors. Now we're getting on to the departmental awards. And this time around we had Professor W.K. Abrampa sponsoring the award for the best graduating upper primary student. So we will call on Prof. Abrampa to do as the honors and presenter name. And this award goes to Asan Christiana. Asan Christiana. Best upper primary graduating student. This award is in honor of Professor Emmanuel Kwashi Tamaklo, a mentor to Professor W.K. Abrampa. This is in his honor. Prof, we are most grateful for this. The best graduating Votech student. We will call on the Presbyterian chairperson to do as the honors by presenting this. And the best Votech graduating student is Dakon Esther Asabia. We shall call on the MCE Epuapam North to do as the honors by presenting the award to the best graduating science student. and he is in the person of Dan Emmanuel. We shall call on the Director of Education, Mr. Niano, from the head office, to do us the honors by presenting the awards to the best art student, art and social science student, and the student is Ohini Gladys Asantua. is in recognition of the hard work of some dedicated students who committed their time and resources in supporting special students on campus. Every day, they were pushing wheelchairs, they were aiding the special students to classroom and going around their studies. And management, in consultation with these two sponsors, agreed to sponsor them. We shall call on Mr. Stephen Budu to do us the honors by presenting the first two. Yes. Bano Mavis Asantua. Samuel. Mr. Budu will do us the honors by presenting this to them. Come upstage and do the presentation. A citation and a passing. Solo, we are most grateful. Solo, I am touched. Solo, we are grateful. He was the leader of the team. And you will see that he's even seated amongst them and he's still supporting them. May the good Lord bless you and bless you and bless you for this special service. We are most grateful. Service to the special needs. Professor Abrampes Award, we left out something. So the upper primary student, you still have a book prize and a cash donation from Professor Abrampa in honor of Professor Emmanuel Kwashi Tamaklo, his mentor. So as a big Christiana, step forward again for this package. over the departmental awards, we have Maths and ICT, best graduating student. We shall call on Reverend Yabua Entry to do as the honors. He is presenting the awards to Mr. Gabla John. And this is the hard-working GCOs. At the onset of COVID and right after COVID, we had a handful of students on campus. It became increasingly difficult to manage students because first years were not on campus. A situation where third years would find it difficult to claim, and second years would find it difficult to claim. The CGOs did well to ensure that the school was kept tidy at all times. And we want to recognize the efforts of these two special GCOs. We shall call on Mr. Patrick Uti Adai. He is the main sponsor to do as the honors in presenting. And the prize goes to Apofo Philip, a dedicated CGO, GCO, and the second is Nanaya Amachi. Thank you. Don't go yet. I have an announcement for you. There is another package for you. Unfortunately, it's locked up in the principal's office. Right after here, get to the office and make another package for the class. Chair, I'm done. And we want to thank all the sponsors for helping us honor these dedicated ones. We are most grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Aprecian. Madam Chair, with your permission, there is a creative arts student by name Eminence Sowa Ofori George who would also want to do a short presentation. Thank you very much. So there's a presentation here for the principal. We want to invite the council chairperson to do this presentation for us. Thank you very much. for the Moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Education, Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Abraham Opare Machi. This art was done by the student himself. It's a creative artwork by the student himself. And the next one is for Professor Winston Kwame Abrampa. Then there is the last one for the Vice Principal of the College, Madame Vivian Okran. The one for the Vice Principal is from SLC, but it's an artwork done by Eminence. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, may I now invite the best graduating student, John Gabler, to give us a word. Let's give him a round of applause.
Eddie Kanfo. And for the last time, Eddie Kanfo. Thank you. Madam Chairperson, I would like to crave your indulgence to stand on the already established protocols to deliver the valedictory speech. Ladies and gentlemen, before I present my message for you this day, I would like to share an interesting story about a young boy with you all. So a boy once believed that he was not good enough. His life has been nothing but a mystery even to himself. His BC and WASI results fell short of his expectations, leading him to doubt his abilities and potential. What had not realized then was that his academic struggles were not a true reflection of his capabilities, but rather as a result of the challenging circumstances he faced. Ladies and gentlemen, he was in the senior high school alongside two of his sisters, with a single mother shouldering the entire responsibility of their education without any external support. To contribute to his education, he has to run away from school, to play instruments in churches, to earn whatever little he could to pay for his books and other expenses. But upon gaining admission a few years later into a college, he decided to experiment on himself. With a newfound support from his mother, sisters, and church administrator, he wondered what the outcome would be if he could fully focus on his studies. Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you this very day as the valedictorian of the 2023 graduating class of the most outstanding college in Ghana, Presbyterian College of Education, Madam Chairperson, is that young boy, now a young man, and the result of the experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, this experience has taught me three crucial lessons that I would like to share with you briefly. First and foremost, it highlights the immense impact that a supportive environment can have on a student's success. Secondly, it demonstrates that past performance does not define future potential. And lastly, it underscores the resilience of the human spirit when allowed to flourish. Looking at my fellow graduates today, I know many of you can relate to this interesting story of mine. I know some of you faced significant challenges that affected your academic performance, because I've seen brilliant minds struggle simply because they lack the necessary support to stay comfortably on campus and focus on learning. Madam Chairperson, I want us to ponder over this, that how many more success stories could we be celebrating today if every student present in this room had their basic needs met? How many CGPAs may have been different, and how many dreams may have soared higher? And I want to say it emphatically that this is not about making excuses. It is about recognizing that success in education is not just about intelligence or hard work. It is also about having the necessary support in order to thrive. Some of our classmates achieved amazing things despite facing incredible odds. Imagine what they could have done with just little more support. So to the future educators and parents in this room, let us remember that your support is not just helpful, it is essential. I plead with you to recognize the profound impact you have on young minds. And I believe that by providing good physical and emotional support, we can create an atmosphere where students can focus on their studies and unlock their true potential. Your encouragement, understanding, and guidance can be the difference between students who believe they are not good enough and those who realize they are capable of achieving greatness. In the words of Malcolm, and I quote, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." Madam Chair, I am of a true conviction that while it is safe to say that no one knows what tomorrow holds, having an education under your belt will open the door to more opportunities. So what you do today in terms of education will surely prepare you for what is yet to come. As I reflect on our time here, I can't help but recall a funny memory that I believe all of you can relate to. Those times when we were in the 100, we used to sit 18 at the table. And there was one fateful Wednesday that I was really hungry and I had to run to the dining hall for lunch. And after sharing everything, to my ultimate surprise, I ended up with one slice of yam. Just one. But the feeling was just something else. But I took something from that experience, that it is not always about getting more. It is about being grateful for what you have and making the best out of it. So to my fellow graduates, when we first arrived at the college 4 years ago, we were filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Over the years, we have grown, learned, and transformed in ways we could never have imagined. Personally, I believe graduation is not just the end of a chapter, but it is the beginning of a new adventure. We stand at the threshold of an exciting, challenging journey. The path ahead may seem intimidating, but remember the resilience and determination that brought you here today. I urge you all to challenge the status quo and strive for greatness, because one day I'll be very glad to sit at the comfort of my home together with my future wife and kids to see some of you on the television, and I'll be happy to tell my kids that I was in the same class with this guy, I was in the same college with this lady. And most importantly, don't forget the God factor. Because I believe that standing here today as the Valedictorian is simply the doing of the Lord. I remember there was one Sunday when the Reverend Minister, Dr. Nicholas Apresian, visited one of our Sunday services. He led a fundraising and he asked students to sow a seed of 1,000 Ghana cedis in aid of instruments for chaplaincy. In fact, I had no money on me as at that time. The only money I had was the exact amount in my investment account. So, and the instruction was that we should take it from our parents. But I had to go to Koforidua and empty the account and bring the money. So when I went to his office, I told him that, Papa, this is not from my mom. I emptied my bank account. Then he said I should build that. He prayed for me. In fact, he spoke so many words about my life. And one of them I could remember was that you will be celebrated. So, Papa, thank you so much for the opportunity given. On behalf of the 2023 graduating class, I would like to take a moment to express heartfelt gratitude to the following individuals for their immense contribution towards this success story. To the moderator of the General Assembly, as well as the immediate past moderator, we appreciate everything you've done and still doing behind the scenes that has brought us thus far. To the College Governing Council, the Principal, and the College Management, your visionary leadership and unwavering support has made this possible. To our teachers, your dedication and wisdom have been instrumental in shaping us into the educators we are today. To the non-teaching staff, your behind-the-scenes efforts have not gone unnoticed and are deeply appreciated. And to our parents and guardians, especially my mother, Mrs. Louis Comfort. My mom is around. Thank you so much. This woman is a warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, help me say a very big thank you to my mom. She's at the back. Thank you so much, Mommy. God bless you so much. And also to my two sisters, Doris and Gifty. They have been so supportive. God bless you. They are around. And to one man who, if not for him, I wouldn't be able to make it to this point. This man saw me and asked a simple question: why are you not in school? And I told him there is no money. And he said, buy forms. When admission is in, let me know. And that man has been supportive from day one up to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, he's around. Let's help me celebrate Brother Michelle. Thank you so much, Daddy. God bless you so much. God bless you. God bless you so much. In conclusion, we enter this gate as students, but we are living as transformative educators. As we close this chapter, let's open the next with enthusiasm. The spirit of innovation, the power of perseverance, and the strength of our community, knowing that our calling as educators is a noble and vital one. Long live Ghana, long live PCE, and long live Eddie Kanfo 2023. Eddie Kanfo! Thank you.
WR 1311-2011, please attend to your car. It's a Toyota car. We are wrapping up this beautiful ceremony, but please permit me to introduce a few guests we have in our midst who have come to support us and bless us with their presence. We have in our midst the General Manager of Presbyterian Schools and also an Eddie Kanfo 1993 in the person of Mr. Daniel Yeboah. You know, Papa, you're welcome. We also have in our midst sister colleges and their principals, and we want to appreciate them for coming to support us. We have the following principals in our midst: Dr. Cecilia Isinam Agba of Mount Mary. We have Professor Prince Watin Adam. We have Dr. Dixon J.E.P. Then we have Dr. Ebenezer Apa Boni Biki. We also have Reverend Dr. Charles Ofosu Ayakwa Akibi. We also have some vice principals in our midst, and they are Mr. Francis Osai Tete, PwC, Mr. Ernest Sapo Okori Abetiku, and Mrs. Juliana Donto of Accra College of Education. We also have in our midst Madam Linda Brago Bunso, Abetiku College Secretary. We have Mama Philomena Ampa, Assistant Head, Okwas. Mama Gladys Ovoiwa Ochri, Lante, Senior High. We also have Reverend Mrs. Rosemont Gardner Colley, Chaplain, Odogon. We also have in our midst Honorable Berryman Esinu Labi, Esquire, MC, Equiapep North. Then we have Mama Agnes Abba, GS Director, okay. We also have a strong contingent from the security services, and the police, Ghana Police Service is led by Chief Superintendent Alhaji Abdul Latif Oura, the Ekopon District Commander. They also have in our midst ASI Kezia Yeboah of Ghana Immigration Service. God bless you all for joining us, and we pray that God will continue to bless you. We also have in our midst our very own, our chaplain, Reverend William Brentiu, and also our assistant chaplain, Reverend Mrs. Joyce Isiama Kumi. The executive group will give us a performance.
Thank you very much, Gitedru. Now we have a presentation, Madam Chair, by the graduates, led by Mr. John Gabler.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, once again, I would like to stand on the already established protocols to do a presentation on behalf of the year group to the college. So over the years, for the past 4 years, the college has been so supportive and helpful and has shaped and groomed us into who we are today. So as we are leaving the college, we equally want to present a program banner to the college for their programs advertisement. So we will need a rep to what brings my hand, please. So this is the welcome to the college banner. As time goes on, anytime the college is hosting a program, they can change the banner for its advertisement. So on behalf of the year group, we present this little project to the college in the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Opare Kwache, the Moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Thank you.
Chairperson of the Governing Council of the Presbyterian College of Education, Dr. Esther Ofeabuaji, Principal of the College, the Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresian, representative of the Mentoring University, our guest speaker, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mama Chairperson, I would have loved to go through all the protocols, but I will proceed on the protocols that you eloquently established at the beginning. Let me begin this address with a big thank you to God for the opportunity to be back to the college. I was here just about a month ago when we organized the Heritage Day and also named one of the new facilities after my predecessor. And so it's a good feeling to be back to Ekopon. Now, Ekopon College of Education holds a very special place in my heart. And I'm sure that I can say with great certainty that when I studied here at Ekopon College some few years ago, a number of things happened in my life, and so I've always reckoned that this place and the time here marked a turning point in my own life. Mama Chair, I recall, and I would probably keep repeating this every time I come here. I recall that on a lovely Wednesday evening, I entered this college for the first time as a student. I was very young at the time. And I also recall that I came with my trunk and chalkbox. It wasn't too difficult because I had used them at the secondary school, so I just carried them to Ekopon. In my chalkbox was one tool, a cutlass, because on the prospectus they had asked that students should come to school with a cutlass. Now, coming from, I had lived almost all my life, virtually all my life, in Tema, a port city, where cutlasses would only be used for agricultural science lessons. And I assumed that we were going to have agric science, and so I needed a cutlass. Well, one gentleman who worked with crocodile machetes, which was also in Tema, and he was in our church, decided to give me a brand new cutlass. So I came to college with a cutlass. But it was locked right underneath almost everything, because this would be for agric science and this would be later on. It was a lovely Wednesday evening. When I got here, the students were having some sports. We went for dinner, and after dinner, we went to our rooms. We were only few, very few, Form 1 of PS1 students, as they used to call us, because at that time, I'm not too sure what was happening, but many possessed people did not like to come to the training colleges, as they called us. guest speaker say that he was from Efutubregu. I stayed in the mother of all schools, and I also stayed in the mother of all houses. I see that the name of my house has changed because it has moved from where it was to a new place. But I lived in the house called Achichiriningwa. For the PS1 students. And unfortunately for us, the inner room was occupied by the GCO. Today I see the college honoring GCOs. GCOs were not the most loved people when we were in school. And this was a very strong GCO. At 4 a.m., this GCO woke us up. Thursday, 4 a.m. and asked us to take our cutlasses and our torchlights. And that was the beginning of real college life in Ebonyi. My introduction to what they call disco wedding. I see that there is no longer disco wedding. Those were the days when the GCO will give you marking scheme for weeding. You were not supposed to weed below it nor above it. If you weeded below it, you were destroying the grass and you'll be punished for weeding below. The very first step of my stay here was so difficult that it was not amazing that a couple of my mates, they left this college. But some of us stayed. But Mama Chairperson, I say it with joy that by the time we were in PS3, our final year, we went out with cutlasses to weed even when we had not been invited to weed, because it had become a part of our lives. And here at the Conferment, we were taught how to live disciplined lives. We were taught how to work very hard. And indeed, when I left the Conferment for the central region, where I was posted as a teacher, I remember Mr. Samuel Kwetu, my headmaster, saying with pride that he had been giving teachers from the Conferment PTC. That meant that those of us who had the opportunity to study here went out and distinguished ourselves out there and made a mark. And everywhere I have gone ever since, I have been proud of my heritage. I've been proud of my roots. I've been proud of my training. I never anticipated that one day I would be here in this capacity, but it gives me joy, especially on this occasion when we have met here to congratulate all the graduating students as well as their families. At this ceremony, we have witnessed the conferment of academic titles on hardworking individuals who have undergone rigorous academic and other life-enhancing activities during their time on the campus. Let me, on behalf of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, who founded this college, extend our hearty congratulations to all our graduating students as well as their families who are here. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. But today, we have been informed that we are graduating less than 500 students from this college. And out of this number, 144 students are graduating with first class honors. I have never heard anything like this before. Now, those who do the social sciences normally have what they call the normal curve. And this one is not normal. I think we should put our hands together for this graduating class of 2023. I think we should put our hands together properly for the graduating class of 2023. 30% of the class making a first class. Indeed, no fail, no pass. Congratulations. Congratulations. I say congratulations to all of you. We are so proud of you. And I believe that the results from Ekopon Presbyterian College of Education is probably the best in the whole country. This is not strange because Ekopon is Edikamfo. And so if you are Edikamfo and you set such a pace, it is a very good one. And we congratulate you. Now, first of all, to our graduates. Today, you have graduated from the Premier Presbyterian College of Education. Do not let that be lost on you. You have just gone through training from a college whose founders pioneered formal education, which targeted not just the learning of reading and writing, but to create a formal space for young people to receive holistic education. Our education, which aims at developing the whole person and offers inclusive education for all, regardless of gender or ability. And that is why I would want to also at this point doff my hat to the students with special needs who studied in this college, as well as those who provided support to them. I want us to put our hands also for these ones. We are grateful to God for all of you. But remember that the education you have received prepared you to take on the challenges of life. Because of the kind of training you have received here, the whole nation, parents, and all other stakeholders are willing to entrust their children to you for the transfer of knowledge and information. I want to urge all of you to distinguish yourself when you go out there and be worthy of the trust that is committed to you. As young graduates also, I want to remind you that you are not done with your education. Today, the guest speaker who brought inspiration and motivation to us told you that he was once a student of this college. Today, he has gone all the way to become a professor. It means that when you come to a proper college of education, it is not the end of your studies. There is more ahead. And I'm here to encourage you to keep reading, to keep learning, and to take advantage of every opportunity that will help you develop your minds, to harness your talents, and bring your potential to fulfillment. I pray that your achievements today will spur you on to higher grounds. So the next time we see you, we hope that you will not just be brandishing your certificates or your degrees which you have received here, but you'll be telling us what the Lord has done in addition to what you have received today. I also want to remind you, everywhere I've gone to, I've had opportunity to speak on this subject, because for us in Ghana, this year is a very special year. It is an election year. And whenever there is an election, there is tension. I pray that having received education, like the kind of education you have received here, approach the elections that will take place this year with integrity and responsibility. When the opportunity comes, let us all exercise our democratic rights in a very wise manner. Let us ensure that our nation stays united. Let us ensure that there is peace. Just a few weeks ago, or about a month and a half ago, the people of the United Kingdom went into an election. I did not hear of anybody being slapped. I didn't hear that anybody had been shot at. I didn't hear that anybody had been killed, that there was fighting over the results. But as we approach December, people are afraid already. I pray that this year, after having had elections in 92, 96, 2000, all those elections up to the last one in 2020, Ghanaians will show maturity by having a violence-free election. And I want you to know that it is possible. It is possible to have a violence-free election. It is not a matter of impossibility at all, because we are, as humans, as all the advanced democracies. That is why, as you go out there, we expect you to be a ferment that will ensure that our democracy will mature and our communities will grow. I also want to take the opportunity to commend the government of the Republic for heeding our call to convert some colleges of education into fully fully-fledged universities. I am aware that the processes are very far advanced, and we are awaiting earnestly for the necessary legislative instruments to be passed quickly. Our belief is that if even only 2 colleges in the whole country will be upgraded to the status of fully fledged universities, based on what we have heard, Conferment Presbyterian College of Education will be one of them. So we commend the government for the move. Whilst we commend them for the processes, there is an urgent matter that needs to be resolved. And it has to do with the 8-week strike by the tutors, the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana. Since June, they have been on strike. And this is disturbing because our colleges are yet to recover from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. I want to, at this point, on behalf of the entire Christian community of this country, make a passionate appeal to the Ministry of Education, the National Labour Commission, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, and the leadership of the Colleges of Education Teachers of Ghana to quickly find a middle ground and come to a settlement. Unfortunately, in Ghana they say that when 2 elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. In this case, the struggle between CTAC and the government has led to difficulties imposed on the students of our colleges of education. And I want to take the opportunity to request for a quick settlement of this matter. It is not a good thing to leave these young people for several months without any sense of purpose. I also want to take the opportunity now to speak to our lecturers, the tutors in our colleges. I want to commend you for your continuous service to a proposal. You have certainly contributed to the improvement in academic performance and endowment of the college. I congratulate especially the book council, the governing council and management for all the contributions that have led to the achievement. But I also note that when teachers write on report cards, they usually end with more room for improvement. And therefore I want to say that there's still more room for improvement. I also want to ask all senior members of the college to make themselves available for promotion by improving not only their qualification but their research findings. More publications will prepare you, especially as we prepare the college to become a university. And I urge you finally to support the principal and management of the college in the performance of their duties. Finally, Mama Chair, as moderator of the General Assembly, I am here this morning, now this afternoon, to pledge the church's unwavering support to the college. I, under my leadership, we will continue the tradition of my predecessors in supporting the college community. The church will continue to play its role until our college is rightfully seated among the top universities of this country. Let me take this opportunity, therefore, to conclude by congratulating once again all our graduates, all our family members who have supported our graduates, all our teachers, who have taught in this place, all the lead members of the management of the college and the board. Our prayer is that the blessings of the Lord, who has called you to this place, will be with you. He has said to us that when we pay attention to his word, he, God, will make our life prosperous. May our lives be more prosperous than we ever think. God richly bless you all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Reverend Moderator. Madam Chair, I want to take this opportunity to stand on behalf of Council and appreciate the Reverend Moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for spending time with us today. I also want to thank the Council Chairperson for being with us today. We also express our sincere gratitude to Professor Victor Entry, EW Province, our affiliate university. We want to thank Professor Winston Abrampa, our key speaker for the day. Thank you very much for making time to honor our invitation. We want to thank the principal of this college for organizing this graduation ceremony. We thank you, Presbyterian Chairperson, for being here with us. Thank you very much, General Manager of School, Presbyterian Schools. Thank you, Prinkoff members, all council members present. We thank you very much. Convocation members, thank you. Honorable members, thank you all for making time to be with us. No, we appreciate your presence. We thank you, our parents, for the support of being here today to celebrate with us. We thank the entire student body. We thank you all our special guests. Thank you, College Choir and College Brass Band. We thank you, graduates, for making time to come. Congratulations to you once again. Thank you, everybody, for being here and spending time with us. We thank God Almighty also for making this program a success. Please let me take this few announcements. Principal, we want to have a word with the Prinkoff members at the second floor of the administration after this program. We also want to serve graduates at 2 p.m. at the old auditorium. Thank you very much. We take a closing remarks from the chairperson of this program, Dr. Esther Faye Abuaji. Thank you very much.
The moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Kwafari Pachi, Professor Victor Entry, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, our August guest speaker. Throughout, I've allowed people to stand on protocols. So please permit me to stand on the protocols that have been already established. I believe you will agree with me that we've had a very important, exhilarating, and exciting event today. Right from the beginning, as the principal shared his report, it was a report that had a lot of optimism. Even though he set out some of the challenges, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that we have a lot to be proud of. Our guest speaker, I want to thank him and congratulate him, even though you've been thanked. I want to say to you that we're a very powerful role model. We've been very inspiring today, and we are taking a lot from you. From your story, you've indicated that sacrifices pay off, and the educator in the 21st century has to be a catalyst of change. Teachers have always been an agent of change or agents of change, but more urgently than before, beyond the classroom, teachers have to exercise facilitating, mentoring, and inspirational roles. And they can only do this through the continuous update of their practice. You talked to us about leadership. Leadership about getting involved and helping to shape the future of education. You talked about balancing priorities, time management, developing advocacy skills, and also creating or contributing to creating an environment of excellence wherever teachers find themselves, in their schools, in their communities. And then you ended on the note that they should consider what they are going to do not as a job, but as a calling. Papa Moderator, I think the awards speak for themselves. Because as you rightly said, we have a tradition of holistic and inclusive education beyond academic excellence. And indeed, if you see the awards, we recognize academic excellence, but we also recognize social service. We also recognize community spiritedness. And in all of this, when you contribute your quota, you will be recognized. You will not be forgotten. Our valedictorian, I want to congratulate not you, but your mother. She has raised an excellent young man, and you've done well. Your story of resilience and also your statements are that of a very wise man. And you are going to help us, all of you teachers, to go out and promote similar success stories in the future. You use a certain expression in your write-up, transformative education. And indeed, that is what education is intended to do, to transform. And it's important that teachers see themselves as transformers who will make a difference in the lives of every child and contribute to the social capital of this country, the quality of human resource we have in this country. The Moderator has re-energized us. He has emphasized the need for our students to go from this institution to distinguish themselves. He was describing his learning experience, and I tell you that studying at a proper, indeed studying on the ridge, is a distinctive learning experience. Indeed, we have benefited from the support of the church, even so much so that we dare not do less than we are doing. And I was happy to hear you echo the congratulations and also the fact that our management and staff have worked well with our students to produce such amazing results. I also agree with you that a very high standard has been set from which we cannot go back, forward ever, backwards never. So, Papa Principal, next time it has to be 70% of your students getting first class. That's 64. And in our tradition of holistic and inclusive education, we have a lot to be proud of. He has advised you and us and me to distinguish ourselves so that we'll be worthy of the trust that is extended to us. Papa Moderator said something very important, that today you are rejoicing and you are finished. And you are rejoicing at the end of a certain part of your journey. But you haven't finished yet. You haven't finished yet. It's only the beginning of education. And even at my age, I'm still learning. I'm still writing. I'm still taking exams. If even at my age. And so you need to continue with your education. I want to say to you that your performance has greatly contributed to the image of this college. This college has an enviable image, so that when they are considering colleges of education for upgraded university status, there's no way they can bypass us. But your performance has, underscored the case for this college attracting that kind of respect. Now, the qualities that the moderator has that Ghana conducts itself with maturity, wisdom, integrity, and wanting to contribute to the peace, should characterize us not only in elections, but in every way that we conduct ourselves. I particularly want to thank our staff, our teaching and non-teaching staff. In spite of the CTAC strike, I think that they've had a very solid impact on our students. And so we thank the church for its concern, and also join the moderator in a fervent appeal to all the stakeholders and leaders to resolve the issue in good faith. One big icing on the cake for me today is the presence here of Mr. Africanus Anani, the alumni president. I think he's the international president. Give the man a warm round of applause. For me, that was the icing on the cake today. And I want to say to him that I think we have done your alumni very proud with what we have achieved today. I want to urge ourselves, and I want to urge even your senior members to avail yourselves of the opportunities for self-development that the principal indicated. And I think in an earlier event, we talked about a foundation that some of our well-wishers want to establish to this end. Please avail yourselves of that. The lady who did the vote of thanks did a fabulous job of thanking everybody. I just want to echo my gratitude to traditional authorities, the political authorities, local authorities, security service, and the range of service providers who have contributed to making this college livable and welcome. So on behalf of the College Governing Council, principal, management, and staff and students of the college, I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of you for honoring our invitation to attend the 16th convocation of the mother of our schools. That people continue to testify of your excellence, and may the aroma of God always shine forth before you. I want to wish you all a safe journey to your respective destinations. And I, in my capacity as a Governing Council Chairperson of the Presbyterian College of Education, I, Esther Obra-Fayawache, now declare the 16th congregation of the Presbyterian College of Education duly dissolved. Thank you.
Please, the choir will lead us to sing PH1. Verse 1 and 2.
And the peace of God which passes all human understanding be with you this day and every day. Go forth in the strength of the Lord. And remember that those who wait upon the Lord receive renewed strength. Go forth with the glory of God. May His glory that shines brightly and His glory that dwells heavenly be with you this day and every day. Amen.
Please let's give standing for recession of our special guest and convocation. Thank you.